The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, it's Herc here. Can you give me a 1 if you can hear me? Just want to make sure everything's set up right. Okay, cool. And you, give me a yes if you can see this, my screen, Serp Tech. Okay, awesome. Todd and Jason are going to be a little bit late. Todd's dealing with the Supremacy hosting issue right now. So I just posted about this in the group actually, right here, okay? So a lot of Serp Tech sites are down right now for people that are hosting with Supremacy hosting. We've been dealing with that for the last couple hours. It's not a Supremacy hosting issue. It's actually, there's a bigger, higher, like when you follow the internet pipe up, AT&T has, where is it? Let me look at Todd's message to me here. An AT&T circuit is down and we have to go through their pipe for hosting. So if your Serp Tech sites are giving you a 500 error right now, the easy way for you guys to check if it's an AT&T issue is just access your cPanel of your site. So let me give you an example, garage door and then .pro. Okay, we're seeing this site coming up as a 500 error. Now there's two possible things it could be. If it's the AT&T issue, all you have to do is type in /cPanel and try and go to it. If it's still failing, okay, that means it's because your site is down, because AT&T is down, and there's really nothing that we can do about that because we just have to wait for AT&T to put their stuff back up. The other issue that it could be is we released. Now, it shouldn't be this issue for you guys because for Serp Tech sites, it could be that you have V3 installed. And yesterday we released an update to Project Supremacy V3. And what happened was there was a bug in it where if you had PSV3 installed and you have PHP 5.3 installed on your server, which typically for Serp Tech sites isn't going to be the case, so it's probably not going to be this. But if you had 5.3, you'd also get a 500 error. But if you typed in cPanel, you'd still be able to access your cPanel. Okay, and that's how you can tell the difference quickly between which one of those problems it is. If you go to your cPanel and your site's down, it's just that AT&T has a circuit down right now and they're probably fixing it. Once they fix it, Supremacy hosting will be back up. If you can access your cPanel but you can't access like WordPress or your site, then it's the Project Supremacy V3 bug. And all you have to do is follow what's in this video right here. Okay, it's basically log into your cPanel, go to your WordPress plugins folder, delete Project Supremacy V3 from your WordPress plugins folder, and immediately upon deleting that, you'll actually be able to access your WordPress. Then you just have to reinstall V3. It'll be the new version. We've already fixed the bug. And what we spent most of today doing, or what the guys spent most of the day doing today, is building basically a feature that if we screw up an update like we just did, we'll be able to roll it back and fix it ourselves. So we really do apologize for anyone that has the 500 error with V3, but the fix is just log into cPanel, access your WordPress plugins folder, delete V3, and then just reinstall it. All your settings will be saved, all your tags will be saved. It'll show up. It takes about it takes less than a minute to perform that fix. So we apologize for that. Francis is asking, is Serp Tech a cloud service? No, Serp Tech is a plugin, Francis. So there's nothing like cloudy on that. So that's basically what's happening right now. I know there's tickets and stuff coming in about that. So I kind of want to explain that to you guys. Does everybody understand that fix? Okay, so I'll actually put it in writer. So it could be one of two issues. Either AT&T or PSV3. Check to see if you have access to domain.com/cPanel. If no, it's an AT&T issue. Wait it out. Okay. If yes, it's possibly a PSV3 issue. Okay. delete PSV3 through your cPanel and reinstall. And then moving forward for this PSV3 issue, we've already installed, like it's called a rollback feature, okay? Where if we screw it up, we'll be able to roll it back for you. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, Giorgio, so he's saying like half his sites are working, half his sites are not. So yeah, this is what you guys are gonna have to follow right now to figure out what's going on. Any questions about that, guys, before we move into Serp Tech stuff? George said you can see the cPanel login screen, but you're getting a connection timeout. That's probably the AT. I'm not sure why. It might be resolving itself over time. You don't have PSV3. If you don't have PSV3 and you can't access your own site, it's not a PSV3 issue. If that site's on Supremacy hosting, it's 100% the AT&T issue. Anybody else have any questions about this? Pretty self-explanatory, I guess. Just wanted to get that post up there because there's people submitting tickets right now, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick little action to figure out what's going on, okay? All right, so moving on, guys. Kevin, yeah, remove the whole PSV3 folder. So I can actually, I'll go over it. So for instance, if I go to howtomakemoneywithbitcoin.net, okay, say that site was down. Okay, say if I tried to access the actual site, but it was down, I would type in cPanel, which is the same thing as like :2083. If I can see this screen, but my front page is down and I can't access WordPress admin, it's likely a PSV3 issue. And here's how you fix it through cPanel. So you log in to cPanel, because your hosting is not down if you can access your cPanel, right? Your hosting's still running. Okay, and then what you're gonna wanna do is go to File Manager, okay? Access your www folder, go to your WP content folder, plugin folder, okay? And there's Project Supremacy v3. You're just gonna click delete, okay? And I'm gonna confirm that. So now what I can do is if I go back into Project Supremacy, my app, okay? The quickest way is just download the auto installer. So it's deleted now. So now I'm gonna access the WP admin. And you can see v3 is no longer there. Plugins, I'm gonna go add a new plugin. Upload the plugin, choose the file, okay. It'd be in my downloads. Okay, and then right here, PSV3 auto installer, install it. And then it's just the same as when you first installed it. We won't have to do this again because we've already, like we spent today fixing the fact that you'd have to go through the cPanel. We'll backwards roll and automatically update your sites for you if we release something that has an issue. Okay, so then we can activate it. Kevin wants, okay, so the plugin's activated. There's an error here with the plugin's activated, so I just go to my plugins. Okay, there's the v3 installer loading now. And then I click install now. Okay, successfully installed. Okay, then I can go here and then if I went into like say my project management or whatever, there it is. Everything's already saved. Okay, there's nothing missing. Then if I go into my dashboard, I go to my websites. I type in how to make money. Okay, there's the site. The tags are all still there. Everything's back the exact way that it was. So it doesn't delete anything. Kevin, once AT&T is fixed, will you automatically re-update the bad PSV3 plugin? If it's an AT&T issue, there's nothing going on with PSV3. If it's a PSV3 issue, you would just do do what you did, and this doesn't affect PSV2. This is only PSV3. And see, that's why, like, it is indexed. Actually, I don't know why it's showing not indexed. So there it is. It's indexed. What you'll see, guys, if you want to see, if you have V3 and you want to see what sites are down, it's these. Okay, the plugin is deactivated. Now, if the plugin is deactivated due to AT&T, this will automatically go away on its own. Okay, and these are probably mostly Supremacy hosting sites. So these will just go away once, because the plugin checks every day to it'll check every day if it's indexed. That's a different thing though. But once AT&T's back up and the plugin checks to see if your plugin's there, instead of getting a 500 error, the plugin will see, oh yeah, the V3 plugin's installed, everything's good. Okay, that should cover that in detail. And for those asking too, like, how long is it going to take for AT&T to fix their thing? Honestly, we don't really have any way of knowing that because we're not AT&T. Once Todd's kind of working on this stuff right now, so once he comes on, he might have a little more to say about that. But that's just the overview for you guys to figure out what's going on. So you guys, we'll get into Serp Tech stuff. Is that cool? Everybody got that? Okay. Where I want to start is our last webinar where we ended. Todd and I were in, I was in Dallas actually over from Wednesday to Monday, and kind of cool thing, I got to go down to the data center, Todd's data center, and help him install a new server for load balancing V3 and Supremacy and all the products that we have. And then we sat at a Becker event and we're learning how to market in different ways. So it was really, really cool. So we weren't able to have last week's webinar because Tennille's birthday was Tuesday and I left Wednesday. But the week before that, where I finished up was those last two webbies were the affiliate build for wickedgood.pro. So I just want to show you guys kind of where we're at. I haven't done anything, okay? If you can remember, so I'll kind of catch you up to speed. I haven't done anything to the site. I'll even go over there. I think this one's still live. I don't think this one's being affected right now. Okay, yeah, this one's good. John, sorry, man, you got here late, and I just covered all the 500 error stuff, so I can't cover it again. But I posted about it, okay, in Serp Tech, so you can go in there. Basically, I just covered this. Okay, so we built the site, guys, and one of the things we were testing with building the site too was it was an affiliates build, okay. Number one, so we're targeting affiliate style keywords, not local. So I showed everybody how to do that. And one of the other things too is recently there's been a lot of Google updates happening, of course. And then people, there was a little period there where people started hitting the panic button on sites not getting indexed and things not working as well anymore. And you know, we just and my advice to everyone is to do nothing, just to ride this out. I always, whenever Google comes out with these big scares or algorithm updates and stuff like that, I never react. Okay, the last thing I ever do is react, start trying to change things, start trying to fix things. I don't want to do anything. I just sit back, I typically let other people be the guinea pigs for me, you know, like all the other SEOs out there that, I mean, we all experience it, right? Not just the Serp Tech group, but other like PBN groups or other mass page builder groups or everything. And I just kind of sit back and I watch what they do to try and get my tips. And I let them be the guinea pigs for stuff. And I don't really do anything. And I can tell you this, out of all the times all this stuff has ever happened, I never had to do anything and it always resolved itself. Okay, because we're still doing good SEO, we're still doing things the right way, and nothing bad ever happened. So I've also noticed in the Serp Tech group a lot of people saying certain sites that may have got de-indexed have come back in a big way as well. Like I know Jeremiah commented, there was a thread by Jeremiah where all of a sudden a whole bunch of his pages came back, and there was a few other people that said they came back. And when we were building the wickedgood.pro site, the affiliate site, that was kind of in the midst of, you know, can we, is Serp Tech still working? Is it still indexing? You know, are we still getting the builds to index quickly and stuff like that? And it indexed really fast for me. Okay, so I think when we did the build, I think I indexed, it was either 60 or 90 pages around there. And I got around a 90% indexation rate really, really quickly. Okay, yeah, Wicked Good is one of my sites. It was built on the last 2 webinars. So I got a really good indexation really, really fast, which was great. Okay, it shows that the indexer is still working, Serp Tech's still working, the theory is still working, everything's still working. And then the normal thing that I expected to happen did happen. Okay, it indexes really fast, and then Google does its thing with the site. You know, you'll come out and you'll say, okay, you have 90 pages indexed. And then within a few days, that 90 pages can go down as far as 1. I think I got down as far as just the home page being indexed, but then it starts bouncing around up and down, up and down. Okay, and that happened to me over the next couple of weeks. And I literally did nothing. I just let it sit there and do its thing. And here we are, you know, we're back up to 986 results, okay, which is what I'm still doing before I move forward, and what I'll talk about my next steps are today. Is I'm waiting for that to kind of really settle down. And I even did go ahead and put it into Pro Rank Tracker. So I'm going to, I'll just load that up. 1 sec, I'll go over here so I can put my password in. 1 second. So I put all those keywords into Pro Rank Tracker. Let me just load that up for you over here. Okay, not all my keywords. I shouldn't say all my keywords. I should say some of my keywords. Okay, here we go. Okay, I tracked 790 keywords. Okay, and man, I could track thousands. Okay, and you can see this site, top 1s, top 3s, 0, 0. Not like what we're used to in a local market, but once again, I'm going after more competitive stuff, like higher traffic, higher search volume, higher competition keywords. You can even tell, it's quite easy to look at a keyword, okay, and tell how easy or hard is it going to be simply by looking at search volume keywords. Okay, so if I organize by global search volume, you can see like this keyword actually has 3,600 a month, 2,400 a month, 24. So anytime, like, it's not a hard rule, but it's kind of a safe rule to go by, that if a keyword, you know, has more search volume, it's going to be harder to rank for. Okay, it's kind of a parallel. So with this particular build, okay, the reason we don't have any number 1 rankings or even top 3 rankings is we're going after way harder stuff. We're going at, like I said, we're going after affiliate style keywords. And I even saw in the group with affiliate builds, with local builds, that there's still people out there that are building sites, okay, and they're getting their initial rankings, they're getting a whole bunch of rankings, and they're getting what they were, you know, expecting to get as far as rankings, lots of number 1s, lots of top 3s, lots of top 10s, and then they're saying, well, my sites aren't getting any traffic, right? But what are they doing about it? They're literally building the site and then doing nothing. And when you guys do nothing, like, nothing's really going to change, okay? If you build your site, you got all kinds of top 1, top 3, top 10 rankings. Okay, that's great. That's part of the equation. You know, when you show that to a client, that's a bullet that you can use to say, look, we can get lots of first page rankings, and that's going to help you get an initial sale. But over time, you know, if a client rents the site out and you're not getting any traffic, then eventually what's the client going to do? He's going to cancel the sale, right? And there was one guy that was talking about that, and I asked him, you know, what are you doing to your site? And he's like, well, nothing. And the fact is, guys, that if you're not getting any traffic, okay, you have to do something about it. You have to go out and do SEO to these sites, because you're likely choosing the wrong keywords, or they're too competitive, you know what I mean? Like, or they're not a high enough traffic for your keyword. So you still have to do what we do as SEOs to these sites, right? Serp Tech was always built, and we've said this so many times, and it might have been on sales webinars with other people, so you guys might not have heard this, and I'll repeat it. Serp Tech has been, I've got to turn these notifications on. Serp Tech has always, we've always sold Serp Tech as like, look, you're going to get tons of rankings, okay? And it's going to be a really great head start for your SEO sites, okay? Like, I'm ranking in the top 100 or whatever. I have like 90 in the top 20, okay? 90 keywords, 92 keywords in the top 20. I have an amazing, amazing head start, right? Now, this is an affiliate site. It's more competitive. If I want to take and still rank for all these keywords, I have to still do SEO to that site, okay? Or I don't have to, but if I want more traffic and I'm not getting it with what I've got, I have to take that next step, okay? I have to build backlinks to the site. I have to increase the authority of the site, and that's just a natural thing. And if you guys have clients and you're either, your clients aren't getting phone calls, or you're not getting traffic or whatever, do you want to be a good, you know, renter, or whatever you call yourself, you know, to your client? Do you want to be a good one, or do you want to be a bad one? If you want to take them to the next step, then all you have to do is start sending links into the site, right? And that's going to increase your authority of your site. It's going to increase the trust in your site. It's going to increase the rankings for your site. And then you can start ranking for these harder keywords. So like, if I look at this affiliate build as an example, okay, we have a lot of good search volume keywords here. And you can see, I'll look at the top of the month, and I can see like this keyword peaked out at 97, and then it's done nothing. This one peaked out at 57, done nothing. This one is 62 currently, right? Everlong base tabs with a $1,300 search volume. This one peaked at 52, currently sitting at 91. The Pretender base tabs for 720. This one's at 69. This one's, here's a good one, Man in the Box base tabs, 480, and it's at number 15. That's great. Like, that's the head start that I'm talking about. We're literally, I'm tracking 790 keywords. I'm ranking 92 of those keywords in the first 2 pages, and an additional 130 in the first 10 pages. Do I want to get this site a lot of traffic? If the answer is yes, now that's when I would start going back to the site and sending links in, right? Like either renting PBN links, or buying and building a PBN and start sending those links into the site to increase the rankings of that keyword. And when you start doing that, okay, all of these keywords are going to benefit. Everything that I'm tracking, and everything even that I'm not tracking, is going to benefit. Absolutely everything. All 790 keywords here, and all whatever amount of some insane amount of combination of keywords that I'm not tracking, everything will benefit. Does that make sense to you guys? That's a good question, Paul. I'll answer that right away. Actually, I'll answer that next. I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page here. Give me a 1 if you guys, you get where I'm coming from here with this example. Okay, cool. So then, okay, so now it's like, all right. Okay, you're like at that point, okay, I get it. I'm going to start building links, right? I'm going to do the other part of SEO, which is like the offsite optimization. So how do you do that the best way? Okay, now without getting into how do I build a PBN, or how do I rent links from a reputable PBN buyer, I'm not going to cover that stuff quite yet. What I will cover though is, let's assume that you know what a good that you either have a PBN, you know how to build a PBN, or you at least know where to find good PBN links. Okay, let's just assume that for now. Now, how do you build those links? So what I would do for these sites, guys, is I would go into my categories, like my category pages, because one thing you got to remember is that our category pages link to every post within the category, and that's why Serp Tech's so good, because it's got a good interlinking structure. So this category is my Alice in Chains category, and then all the posts are like tabs for different Alice in Chains songs, right? But if you scroll down to the bottom of this category page, there's the links to each of the posts, right? So where do I want to link? I want to link to this page. So let's open this back up. Okay. I don't know, whatever. Okay. Okay, so let's say link number 1 that I want to build to this site. Okay, and let's say you don't even have to build a lot of links. I would suggest you don't build any more than 5 links even to start with. So let's say link number 1, I want to link to this category, okay? And then for my anchor text, okay, give me a 1 if you do not know what anchor text is. Okay, there's a couple of you. Most of you know what anchor text is. Let's give you an example of anchor text. Let's look at it this way. Okay, let's go to any website. Okay. An anchor text is the clickable. See all these. Let me zoom way in on this. Okay. See in these paragraphs. Whoop, not a little too close. See these paragraphs when you hover, like right here, Alice in Chains. This is a link, right? We all know that this is a link. But the anchor text of this link is the words that are clickable. So in this scenario, okay, Alice in Chains is the anchor text. Right? And Google knows what the anchor text is. So there's 2 elements to a link. It's the anchor text and the link, okay? So this right now is an anchor text of Alice in Chains, but the link is an internal link. And what I mean by internal link is the link leads to another page within the same site, but that's not what you want, okay? When we are building links, we want to build external links from our PBN. So like if I have a PBN, let's give you an example, like, okay, like taxgaga.com is one of my sites. Okay, this is a PBN. Okay, I put a post on the PBN and I link it out to the site that I want to rank, that I want to rank, right? So this, for instance, Houston Fence Company links out to a site outside of TaxGaga. It becomes an external link, and the anchor text is Houston Fence Company. Okay, so if we bring that kind of knowledge back, link 1 is wickedgood.pro. We're linking to this category page, which links to all the posts. My anchor text would be something like, okay, and maybe I want to link to this page 2 times. Because remember, I said you want to build like 5 links tops for now, right? You don't need many, just you want to see how things are going. So I'm going to link to this URL. Okay, so anchor text 1 is Alice in Chains guitar tabs. Anchor text 2 could be like learn Alice in Chains on guitar, right? And then I would leave that alone. I guess this would be called link set number 1, not link number 1. So then the next thing I would do, okay, is now I want to go to my next category, because I have 4 categories on this page, on this site, which is Foo Fighters. Okay. Is that right? And then I guess this would be anchor text 3, since it's, okay, this could be something like best Foo Fighters tabs. And then I could do like Foo Fighters I could even do I don't know, Foo Fighters learn guitar, or learn Foo Fighters guitar songs. There, that would make a little more English sense, right? learn Foo Fighters guitar songs. Is that starting to make sense to you guys? So what I'm doing, if I could like draw it out, is I'm linking to the category pages from my PBNs using relevant anchor texts. And then what's going to happen, okay, is the link juice is going to pass, okay? Let me draw this out. I think it would be better if I drew it out. Excuse me, while this is loading, I'll answer. Okay, so let's say, okay, this is my PBN 1, and this is my PBN 2, and this is PBN 3, okay? And then this, and I'll label all these so that we start getting a real good understanding of what's happening here. Well, actually, let's not do that last one. So let me label these for you. Oops. Okay, there's PBN 1. This would be PBN 2. Oops. This one's obviously like going to be PBN 3. Okay. This site down here, so I can set it up for you, is wickedgood.pro. Okay. This page right here is what was the Alice in Chains page, right? So this is the Alice in Chains page. And this is the Foo Fighters page, okay? And then remember, I have 2 more category pages, right? I have 4 main categories. So when I build a PBN link, okay, so PBN 1, this, let's move shit around just so it, whoops. This is my first time really drawing on a webinar, so forgive me if I suck at it. Okay, so let's say my first link that I build, okay, is from, what I want to do is build a link from PBN 1 to category page 1. Right? And then from PBN 2, I'll link to the Alice in Chains page again, right? And the anchor text that I'll use is Alice in Chains guitar tabs. Right? Does that make sense to you guys? Like that's, so this PBN would have a post on it that somewhere in it said Alice in Chains guitar tabs, and that anchor text would link to the Alice in Chains page. I mean, does that make sense to anyone? Does anyone got questions about that? I really want to cover this in a high level of detail, and you guys might be like, what the hell are you talking about this shit? It's so basic for. But I just want to make sure everyone understands it. Okay. Now let me go back and answer some questions here. Should we focus our links to the individual pages or the category pages of the homepage? Yeah, category pages. Because the next level down, guys, okay, if we look at the structure of our sites, I'll draw this out a little bit more just for visualization. I need this tool. Okay, the next kind of structure our sites would be now, this would be our Alice in Chains post 1, and this would be our Alice in Chains post 2, and this would be our Alice in Chains post 3, right? And then Foo Fighters is the same thing. It's going to have a bunch of posts, right? So this whole scenario, this is what our sites really look like, guys. We have the homepage. The homepage links to the in this example, it's just a 2 category site. In Wicked Good's actually a 4, but in this diagram, okay, wickedgood.pro is a tabs learning site, learn guitar tabs. It has 2 category pages. One is Alice in Chains, the other one is Foo Fighters. The Alice in Chains one has 3 posts and the Foo Fighters one has 4 posts. When we build our links, we want to build our links to the category page, not to the inner post and not to the home page, okay, to start off. And the reason why is because the category page links to all the posts. So if you think of your link, okay, and the way links work is when you link to something, it passes authority and it passes trust. Now, if we think of authority and trust as water in a bucket, okay, think of PBN1 as a bucket full of water. Okay, and what we're going to do by building a link is we're going to poke a hole in that bucket, and water is going to slowly start leaking from this site to this particular page, right? Now, this bucket of water has a few holes in it. This post is a hole, this post is a hole, and this post is a hole. So now think of the water scenario. Water is going to flow out of this hole into this hole, and then it's going to flow out of all the holes from this one into all these buckets. Is that a good analogy, guys? Link juice, trust, and authority are like water in a bucket. They follow a linking pattern, right? So by linking to this page, all these pages are going to receive water from this bucket up here. And then eventually, this bottom page might link back to the home. So I know water doesn't flow uphill, so in that sense, it's a bad example. But it will flow back to the home page. But this is the best page to get your best bang for your buck. So link your first couple PBNs to here, take your next link, build it to here, take your next link, build it to here. And that's how you're going to get absolutely everything, okay, is going to benefit. All your keywords are going to benefit, and you're going to start ranking for these harder keywords with more traffic. That's how you're going to get more traffic to your sites. That's how you're going to get more phone calls for your clients from your traffic. Francis, what are the particularities of a PBN page format only? Actually, guys, just today, okay, so this overview that I just gave you it's not how to find a good PBN. It's not how to build a PBN. It's how to link properly if you had access to a PBN, okay? Trying to explain to you all the lessons that come with how to find a PBN or how to rent links and how to know that you're renting good links, like how to analyze domains to make sure it's trustworthy, high metrics, a big bucket of water instead of a small bucket of water. That's a massive, massive topic. But the cool thing is, Todd and I are actually having a webinar tomorrow we're going to go over that stuff in more detail. It's not going to be a Serp Tech webinar. It'll be a local webinar because we found a really, really amazing training source for PBNs. So we're going to go over that on tomorrow's webinar. So today I'm not going to talk about what makes up a good PBN because that is going to come in a webinar tomorrow from a really, really good source. Tim, when you put your next and previous link into your build for your post page. Check your email, James. I sent it out today. It's the title of the email is like PBN training. Tim, I'm not sure of the question you asked there. You're probably referring to when I'm talking about the bucket of water, like this post leads to this post, and this post leads to this post. So the water as it flows from PBN into this category and then into all the next posts, it just flows everywhere. This is called silo structure, by the way, guys. Right, and that's why Serp Tech was designed to build in silo structure. It's the best linking strategy so that when you start building links into anything, it just flows everywhere. Yeah, okay, Tim, gotcha. Okay, John, should we use unique or spun articles for your PBN? Unique is definitely better. put it this way, guys, any shortcuts you take are going to give you a shorter term result. You know what I mean? Like with PBNs and like linking, you could get uniquely written articles for like $2, right? And it's just so much better for your PBN overall. This is more going into PBN lessons again, but you don't want to have a PBN site, okay, say this PBN3, full of spun content, because eventually Google's going to look at this, and Google has the power to zap your bucket of water and turn it into a small bucket so that it only trickles a little bit of water. But if you use all unique content and it was a good PBN, okay, then you'll maintain a really big bucket of water, and that water can flow into other sites. I'm loving this water analogy. There's so many ways I could talk about that. Pro rank tracker is not ours, no. Would you post from the same PBNs to both categories? So that's a great question, John. So like, for instance, what he's asking is, so PBN is going to link to this anchor text 1 from PBN 1 is going to go to the Alice in Chains page. And then on PBN 2, I'll use a different anchor text, but link to it. Now, can I use PBN 1 and PBN 2 and also link twice to Foo Fighters? You can, but you can't do it a lot, okay? And this is where you'll really have to start getting good at tracking what you're linking out to, because let's say I use this same 2 PBNs. Let's say all I had in my network was 3 PBNs, and I start linking these 3 PBNs, to this page, and then I'm like, okay, I built another site. Now I need to link these 2 PBNs to that next site, and then I build a third site. No, okay, I'm going to use 2 and 3 and link it to those pages. What you've just done by overdoing things is you've just connected these 3 PBN sites to all your money sites. So if Google, for any reasons, or anybody sees any of your sites or any of your PBNs, can literally follow the links and find out your entire network of what's going on, right? So if Google found that out, they would de-index your PBNs and they'd penalize your domains, and you'd lose everything all at once, right? So now, if instead what you did, okay, now let's just say, I know I have, let me do this. Okay. These 2 go to this site, okay? And then these PBN3 and PBN4 go to a different site, and then PBN5 and PBN6 go to a different site. Nothing's attached, right? Nothing's linked up. There's no way to follow a linking pattern. They die, like those ends die. And you guys might be thinking like, holy shit, I'm gonna need a whole bunch of PBNs to link to a whole bunch of sites. I'm just providing the 2 extremes so that you can see the difference, and you wanna find a balance. Extreme 1 is linking all your PBN sites to all your money sites. Okay, that's the bad extreme. Extreme number 2 is only these 2 PBNs are for this site, and then these 2 PBNs are for another site, and these 2 PBNs, or 2 or 3 or 2 or 4 or 5, whatever, are for another site. That's the other extreme, where you're absolutely paranoid and you don't want to do any cross-linking. Does that make sense, John? Okay, so now kind of another variation of your question is, you can link PBN1 to this category and PBN2 to this category, okay, and then say PBN4 to the homepage, and you know what I mean? Like, you just have to, now I'm getting too deep and it's getting confusing, but you just have to be careful that you're not linking the same PBNs to the same money sites too many times. That's the basic rule. Don't link the same PBNs. I'm going to call this the golden rule, okay? Do not link from the same PBNs to the same money sites too many times, because when you do, you create a pattern where any person that finds one site can just look up, you know, what are the backlinks that come in from Wicked? They could go to like Majestic and put in wickedgood.pro and be like, oh, they got a link from PBN and PBN1 and PBN2. Okay. And then they would go to your next site if it was like wickedbad.pro and they put it in a Majestic and use these same two PBNs. They say, oh, they got the same link from PBN and PBN2. Boom, instantly they just connected two PBNs and two money sites. And they could wipe it all out. Who puts the original water into PBN1? Great question. Here, and this is once again PBN theory. Okay, I'll answer it. Okay, who puts the original water into PBN1 was the question. So I'm going to do a reorganization. Let's say PBN's up here, PBN1's right here, and you're going to link PBN1 out to all those other sites. Okay. Well, PBN1, and I won't call these PBNs. Okay. We'll just call these sites. We'll get rid of that because these aren't PBNs. Okay. So this is how PBN got the water in the first place. When I go buy PBN sites, what I'm looking for is a site that already has water flowing into it, right? From other sites. Okay, and there's a measurement of what makes water clean water or dirty water, like good usable water, and that's like things like Majestic Trust Flow or Ahrefs domain authority or Moz domain authority. Okay, the higher the number, the cleaner the water. The more links, meaning the more buckets of water that you have flowing in. So if a site has like 2 links, it's got 2 buckets pouring into it. If this was like Facebook and Google, those buckets are big and full of clean water. They're huge. And they're going to pour a lot of water for a long, long time into this site. But if these are 2 little itty bitty sites, okay, that have only, you know, a couple links each, they're going to run out of water fast. And that's kind of the water analogy. Links are water, and PBN1 got the links or the water from other sites. And this site got its links and water from other sites. And it just, that's the web, right? If you look at it all as a whole, it's a web. That's why it's called the World Wide Web. Okay, where do you host PBNs? Yeah, just don't ever search for SEO hosting. I would register for that domain or that webinar that we're gonna have tomorrow. Check your email, and we'll get into details about that stuff. Bruce, same thing, same answer to that question. I would just register for that webinar tomorrow. Question about the golden rule, even though Alice in Chains and Foo Fighters. So let's back this all the way up. Let's put our situation back here so that I can answer this question. Okay, so question about the golden rule. Even though Alice in Chains and Foo Fighters are both under Wicked Good, I see it as one money site, which is Wicked Good. My question is that 1 or 2 money sites? Okay, let me reread your last question. You're right about that, Greg. You're right. Like ultimately, okay, it's the domain that you got to worry about, not the page. So like, even though we're linking to an inner page, it's really the domain that you got to worry about. And that's why when I say this for the golden rule, do not link from the same PBNs to the same money sites. Notice I didn't say pages there too many times. That's really what it is. So these PBNs are both pointing to wickedgood.pro, right? So if I use these 2 PBN, and then if I use these same 2 PBNs to link to another domain, like wickedbad.pro. So over here, like this was Wicked Bad, and then this one was Wicked Bad. I've created a bad pattern. Does that answer your question, Greg Young? Okay. Yeah. So that's as far as I'll go with that, you guys. Kind of to recap it all. WickedGood.pro is indexing well. Okay, it's not ranking like a boss. It's not ranking like an absolute. It's still got lots of awesome rankings. We're even ranking for some keywords with search volume. Okay, our traffic is trickling in. Now, we're targeting harder keywords that actually are showing up with search volume here. Even if they had 0, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't get search volume, but this is definite that these keywords definitely have search volume. And if you rank for them, you're definitely going to get traffic, but they're hard. So that means we have to do, let me put Skype on, no bother. So that means we have to do a bit of SEO to these sites, okay? That's going to be the case for anyone who's saying, you know, I've got a lot of rankings, but I'm not getting a lot of traffic. Then you're going to have to do the next logical step, which is start building backlinks, okay? And when you build backlinks, you rank all your keywords a lot higher in Google, including the ones that have more traffic, okay? And how you backlink is like this, and what it looks like is like this. Okay, George, let me just read your question here for a sec. Here comes more idea. You know what I do, George, is post that same question or idea in the group. Because I mean, Maps Liftoff was kind of a different topic than, you know, Serp Tech, and we try to keep this as much to Serp Tech as possible. So yeah, go ahead and post that in the group, and then you can open up a discussion over there for that. Jason, I see you on there. Do you have anything that you want to add or talk about at this point? Oh, your mic is, I think your battery is dead or something. No, it's quite fuzzy. AT&T. Yeah, your mic, there's definitely something up with your mic, Jason.
On the book for now.
Not really. We're getting there, it seems. Is it just me, guys, or can you hear the fuzz on Jason as well?
He sounds really bad. I don't understand a word of it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're quite muffled, Jason.
It's definitely something with his mic.
Steven, while Jason's figuring that out, do you want to add anything, or is there anything you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Hey, Nat. So let's do this, guys. Let's go to a Q&A. Actually, should we do Q&A, or do you guys want to do some site analysis? We can do either one. Give me a 1 for Q&A and a 2 for site analysis. You guys like this? Oh, there's a couple Q&As, mostly site analysis right now. All right, let's do a couple site analysis, guys. If you have a domain that you want me to look at, here's the thing. It's got to be a Serp Tech domain. It's got to have issues, you know, or at least it should have issues. Kind of worked out good last time where the guy got me to look at his Serp Tech domain, and it was actually baller. It was so badass.
Herc, the site psychologist, he has to have issues.
Shit, Paul, sorry, I just closed things. I'm not sure what site you were talking about. You might have to screenshot from a replay. Okay, so Anthony stumpbuster.bid. That's a cool domain. So I'll tell you guys this, without even knowing what Anthony, he hasn't said, anything about his site yet other than he put a URL in. How to tell if a site is good or bad without knowing if there's something good or bad on it. Number one, is it indexed? 273, okay, that's fine. Number two, is it ranking? We're looking for Stump Buster. So it's indexed and it's ranking. Right off the bat, I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with the site at all. I usually check a couple. Number two, okay. So now that we know that, guys, we don't know what the issue, we don't know why Anthony wanted us to look at his site. But the first thing I'll always do is check if it's indexed and check if it's ranking. So Anthony, are you okay if I unmute you? Do you have a mic? That's your very first build. Congrats, man. That's a good build. Okay, I'm going to unmute your mic and then I'll let you come on and talk about what's going on. Okay, you should be unmuted. I'm not sure if your computer has your settings correct and everything, but just go ahead and talk and we'll know right away.
Okay.
Yep, you're on. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's my very first build. I've been pretty busy doing some remodeling on my house for the last couple of years. So when I'm a late start to this, but I was just trying to get that, the confidence if I did everything okay and just start building.
2 states, so you have 2 categories, I'm assuming. Yep. Well, you've done it right. I mean, like I said, that check that I do, number 1, is it indexed? Number 2, is it ranking? And if they're yeses to both of them, there's nothing wrong with your site. Your site's doing what it's supposed to have done. From there, it's just a matter of how big do you want to go, right?
Right. Okay. Hey, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks. All right, take care.
Mike, when building out a PSV site, is this category post structure better to choose than using pages? PSV, Project Supremacy. Any site, guys, I'll put it to you like this. Okay. Any site I build, okay, some people are always like, I know I struggled with this. I really struggled with this when I was first starting. And it's the question of like, when do I use a page versus when do I use a post? Okay. And one thing I think that is important to remember, okay, is this. We hear these 2 words quite a bit, right? Web pages and blog posts. And if you just kind of always remember that little thing, it'll help. So like, and then I'll go into a rant about Serp Tech, of course, because it's a little bit different. But typically when I'm building a site, I'm like, say a 5-page mini site or even a 10-page site, I'm building a website. So I want to use web pages to build my site, which means typically I'm going to use pages in WordPress. When I'm building a blog, I'm going to build posts, and blogs can be attached, to WordPress sites by just adding, like blog, and then you have all your blog posts show up. But that's typically the thing I try to remember. I primarily use web pages. Okay, now Serp Tech, of course, uses a combination of these, but it does it in a really, really smart way, where the pages are categories, right? And the posts are posts, right? And they're not blog posts, but they're actually posts. But what's happening is you're creating that silo structure. I wish I wouldn't have closed my Serp Tech, but that's how you're creating the silo structure, where you're going like, category 1, And then from there, you're doing like post 1, post 2, post 3. Okay, and then once again, category 2, and then again, post 1, post 2, post 3. That's just category. That's just good silo building, and that's how Serp Tech is designed to build in this fashion. And these are actually pages. Just let's be really specific here. Okay, so this kind of little rule that I have for myself is helpful, but when you look at it in terms of Serp Tech, it's obviously a little bit different, where your page you're using it that way as a category, and then you're building posts under the category, and that's just the URL structure thing. Hopefully that answers your question, Mike. I'm not sure if it did, but that's just how I like to look at it. Web pages, blog posts. Francis, if a post is a post in a blog, what is a post in a website? Well, blogs make it a post. So if it's a post in a website, it's not really even a post. It's just an HTML page, I guess. Anthony is a good dude. He's one of Natalie Dixon's partners. Cool. That's awesome. Are you still killing it over there, Nat? Is all your sites, did you get sites get de-indexed, and did you come back, and are you still like kicking ass? Do you want to come on the webinar and chat a little bit about what's been going on with you for the last little bit? Okay, guys, I'm going to put Natalie Dixon on. One sec, let me find her. Just because Natalie's been with us a while, and she's had really, she struggled at first, and then she got the hang of things, and then she started kicking ass. Okay, Natalie, you're unmuted.
Hey babes, how are ya?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thanks for the spanking when I sort of went, is the webinar on today?
You know what I like about you? You know what I like, Natalie, is that if there's some people that I could have responded to in the same matter, and they would have thought I was an asshole. And you're laughing.
So funny.
And if you guys want to see what we're talking about,
oh my God.
And this was my response.
It was like, yeah, just look at the fucking stuff, dumbass. It was quite funny.
So what's up? What's been going on with you? How are things? Tell everybody.
Oh man, it's unbelievable. It's been amazing. You know, I do the background bit. Oh crap. A second. I was going to say, should I do the background bit? I had an accident in.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt.
And it just like floored my business. Sorry, someone's trying to call me. I was like, no, bugger up. And yeah, so it floored my business. I'm in construction, and it took me a long time to kind of get my shit together. But I knew I wanted to get out of construction. But on the good side, I kind of came across a few things. Anthony Aries, with which I know is like one of your sort of mates and stuff. And it kind of led me to this, and I was like, yeah. So I just closed a deal, a week ago, which was totally from a Serp site build that was leading pages to my page. And that was worth, what, £12,000 profit? So that's probably about 22 in your money. Yeah. So it's been going amazingly. Like, I just can't tell you how life-changing this stuff is. And I've got a meeting on Friday, and that's pretty much a done deal. And I've got another sort of major deal that I've done from someone within the Serp Tech group who led me to them, did a Webby the other day with them, and that's a done deal. And that's sort of outside this kind of area, but it's Facebook advertising, which I know. And yeah, so man, it's just kicking ass.
when did you start with Serp Tech? You've been in it for a few months now, right?
I think I started about 6 months ago. It took me a little while to get my head around it. Like, it really did. I must have done every one of your training webinars 2 or 3 times, and I think I had overwhelm, like, a lot. You know, I used to think I was a really quick learner. Maybe it's my age, but it just took me, and also I was an absolute WordPress newbie. Like, I hated WordPress. I just thought it was the clunkiest bastard to work with. And so I had to learn all of that from scratch.
What was your SEO expertise at that time? Like, how much did you really know about it?
I wouldn't say a hell of a lot. I would say a bit. I've launched products on Amazon and stuff like that, and made money on Amazon with physical products. I would say my SEO was probably about 50%.
Okay.
So then I
take notes here, so.
Oh God, don't take notes. Don't put it down in black and white, man.
This is important for other people to see, I think, you know?
Yeah, I understand. And it really is, because the learning curve, it feels massive. And then you get over it and it's just like, God, it's not that hard. My SEO knowledge was not that bad, but my key sort of stuff was in marketing. So I understand landing pages and funnels, and I know how to go out and do the deals, and that's the thing. Right. And so you don't have to be all things to all people. I think that's really important. You know, it's like, if your key marketing skills, or if your key skills are in communication, then for God's sakes, hire someone to do the builds. You know, I did a couple of builds. Honestly, I had to turn off one of the Serp Tech overlays because I was too busy. I couldn't deal with the leads, and they were good leads. So you had a guy on recently, and I can't remember his name, and he was going, yeah, go for a really good niche with high money per sale. Mm-hmm. And that is exactly what I'm in. You know, my business is in that. Right. Because every deal I do is worth £6,000 to £10,000 profit. Right. So it makes sense to go and use your nous, and everybody has that. You know, you've all touched everything that you want to touch, you know, like whether it be in medical or law or construction or, you know, home improvements. Everybody knows a niche that goes, oh my God, underfloor heating. They're not going out for less than £1,000 a job. Mm-hmm. You know, so you get them 2 or 3 jobs a month. That's gold. You know, it's honestly, Herc, and I know I'm a pain in the ass, and I really appreciate your sort of your patience with me, and certainly help desk and support. They've been amazing, but it's literally changed my life in terms of me and my daughter. Like, this is the one thing I can say has made an enormous difference. So thank you. I'm on webinars.
I think I go on rants, and I'll never forget when I came back from my wedding. One guy said, like, married Herc is like a new Herc because he's all calm and everything. And I said part of the reason that I'm probably a lot more calm now is because I haven't been on webinars in a while. And I want to say this about, like, you saying thanks for me having patience. I have a world of patience for people that I see who are putting in the effort and doing everything they can to make their business succeed, because I just can't run out of patience for that type of person. Okay, but then there's other type of people who will do like one thing, quit, fail, you know, come on, blame me, get mad at me, or say I'm doing this right or doing this wrong. And I have that person I have zero patience for. And oftentimes I deal with, to be fully fair, I deal with a lot more people that you know, there's a lot less successful people in the world than there are unsuccessful people, and I think it's just the way the world's built. So because of that, I have to deal with a lot more. I deal with a lot of people that come at me and give me a lot of heat for shit, and my patience wears down. Like, I was actually quite pissed off before today's webinar, and I was going to say a whole rant about what was going on, and I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. But I love seeing people, and I have tons of patience for people that, like you, that, you know, you'll just put in the work, because, like, guys, we literally watch Natalie go through this. And Natalie, like, in your 6 months, like, how many struggles did you have that involved? Obviously, I know that you had to learn WordPress, and you've already mentioned that was a pain in the ass. But with Serp Tech, I know you had to learn that, and that was a pain in the ass. But even with, like, our Google, like, losing sites, or, you know, losing rankings, or losing a client, like, did you deal with any of those struggles as well in the last 6 months?
Not a single one, not at all. And, you know, you guys can, oh no, that sounds wrong. I was going to say, you guys can see my back end. My back end is like, I've hooked up with quite a few, you know, I'm not doing all the builds now. I have friends that are doing builds for me. I go and sell them. I line up the deals. I needed to learn it. You always need to learn it so that you can kind of, so you know what's going on. And I still do builds. I'm doing a freaking build at the moment for, I'm done with freebies. I'm getting to the point where I just sort of go, I can't do any more freebies, you know.
Right.
But I do it because I kind of went, oh yeah, it'd be great, let's help you, you know. And that's kind of what I feel like. It's like, oh my God, you're struggling, let's help. But every one of those freebies I've done has resulted in major work. I mean, major work. I'm just about to sign a contract that is like a really huge deal, and it's big time. And I'm going, oh my God, I understand business. I didn't understand the techie side as well as I needed to. And you just got to do it. You got to stop complaining. You just got to get in, and you just got to learn it. And if it takes you 10 times to watch a webinar, as I did, and if you're not taking notes, you're not taking it seriously. Like, and this is not a sales pitch. It's really not. It's like, if you are not taking notes, that's why the notes that I posted, and my friend Bob has posted much better notes than I have now. If you're not taking notes and taking this seriously, you are kissing away shed loads of money. And that's all I can say. You take it seriously, and you dig down, and just every time that you get really freaked out or overwhelmed, or you think it's a trick, you're being too bloody clever, and just bring it down to basics and do what you guys say. Because honestly, my business was failing before I put a Serp Tech overlay on my business. It was failing. So it's totally turned my world around. And I would just say, you know, don't look for a golden bullet. There is no such thing. You know, there is no one thing that is going to fix everything. But don't ignore your experience. So if your experience is in restaurants, or if your experience is in yoga, or if your experience is in different things, dig down and find where the high money per value sale is. So if you're in yoga, my marketing brain goes, okay, then look for really high converting, personalized, niche kind of market where people are going to pay shed loads of money and pay for the service that you're providing. So yeah, that's it really.
I wanted to comment when you were talking about Bob, because I have a feeling Bob. So Bob's like, I've talked to Bob, and I have a feeling he's still struggling with his business and what he's doing right now, and he's being very helpful to the group. He was on one of those last webinars where there's a lot of people out there who are like, you guys need to like organize your videos by topic and this and that. So it's easy for me to find what I'm looking for. Now, I understand, and I get that mentality for people. I understand that if you want to figure out how to, set up rank tracking, you want to just go and do that. But there's also the other side of things where Bob is picking up by going through all these videos one by one and writing notes for them and doing that for the group. There's so many comments that he's made where he's like, holy shit, here's another nugget I picked up, and here's another nugget I picked up, and here's another one. And Bob is going to, I'm predicting that Bob is going to be another superstar in Serp Tech because of what he's doing. Now, let's look at those two different people. There's someone that's sitting there that's saying, I think you guys should spend time and money indexing our videos so that I can quickly get to what I want to get to quicker. And then there's Bob who's like, you know what? I'm going to just go through every single video. Which of those two people do you think in the long run is going to have more success?
Oh my God, and Bob is, without saying anything, he has so much on his plate, and he's been going through absolute hell, and he's learned a hell of a lot. By no means is this guy a loser. He's one of the most intelligent, diligent, pain in the ass, detail-oriented people I've ever known. And I absolutely adore him. I met him probably 4 years ago after I'd had my accident, and we both were launching a product on Amazon. He is so cluey at systems. I am not. I'm a big picture girl. I'm just going, I can see the big picture. I don't like the details. But if you spend, I can't even remember how much your course cost me. And it's so irrelevant to me now. I'm just like, if you spend over £1,000 on a course, then why wouldn't you go and study and take notes and dive into it? Why wouldn't you? And I know there's people out there, I'd be amazed to hear, out of the amount of people that buy your course, how many do you think actually implement it?
Oh, it would insult.
Is it 50% or it's higher, lower?
And I've been in internet marketing for 22 years. I've been with Todd for 3. And as an example, like when we released Keyword Supremacy and we released the method of how to build a 5-page website, how to use Keyword Supremacy, our keyword research tool, how to find really high-paying keywords, how to build a 5-page website and make like $1,000 a month through AdSense. When we released the exact blueprint through that, and we sold big packages into Keyword Supremacy, it would blow your mind how many people they bought it and they didn't even do a single keyword search. Like we have people in there that still have the original 5,000 credits for that system. I don't want to say a number, but it's seriously sad. And I don't understand it. But I think that's just the way the world is. You know what I mean? Some people are built for success and some people aren't.
Yeah, and I suppose part of that is that overwhelm thing. Like when I started with your course, I'm not a total newbie. I've been selling advertising since before Google. I was selling online advertising pre-Google. So I'm not a total newbie. But at the same time, I suppose when I was younger, I really learned this thing about, just make a commitment, go and get the business. Definitely go and get the business. Because I tell you what, there is no incentive like having the business and having the bill paid to make you move your ass and go and learn it. And then you go and learn it and make it happen in a backwards way. So when people come to me and they're like, oh, I've got this idea for a business, it's like, go and get the freaking business first. Go and get the orders, get the business, get the bloody stuff in, and then you have got a sort of, a reason to go and learn it and make it happen. So
that overwhelming thing too. I've been there. I've joined courses where they were big, and I got in. And it can be comparable to Serp Tech because Serp Tech has, a lot of training videos and then it has a lot of webinars. So it becomes immediately this where do I start sort of thing. But when you feel overwhelmed, what I did when I felt overwhelmed is you need to sort of put blinders on and you need to stop everything else. You need to really if there's another product that comes your way that gets you excited, you need to stop. You need to put it aside. You need to get rid of that fear of missing out syndrome where, you think if you don't buy this next product or do this next tactic that you're going to miss out. you need to stop and you need to focus and you need to dig in to what you have, and you need to squeeze everything you can out of it before you can turn back on, or take your blinders back off and focus on other things. It's just a matter of, I feel overwhelmed. Okay, stop and start learning this strategy, master this strategy. You have to stop everything else. So it's just a personal choice, right?
Yeah, and also I think it's where your brain goes. God, I must have spent, and I'm not rich by any means, but I must have spent 10,000 quid on programs in the last sort of 3 years. Must have. Whether it be videos, whether it be other stuff, but your program was the one that made me stop. You know what I mean? It was okay, this is enough. I get it. I can build from here in terms of my business. So honestly, we've got clients. I've made connections through your group, which is incredible. Jeremiah's coming to Christmas with us. I'm so happy.
No way.
Oh yeah, we booked. Oh my God, man, am I allowed to say this? We booked an entire manor house in Wales. Some friends of mine, I would never have been able to do this. So we've booked an entire manor house, and it's 16 rooms. And Jay just kind of went, yeah, I think I can come. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it's enormous.
That's
and
awesome.
That would never, ever have been able to happen. And now there's people that are coming and they're going, oh, I can't make the days. And I'm like, just come for the full days. I'll make up the extra. It's okay. I've always wanted a National Lampoon's Christmas.
That's so awesome. Awesome. Okay, well, Natalie, I'm gonna get on with some training, but thank you so much. Everybody that's on the webinar that just heard Natalie and absolutely felt a little bit inspired, can you just give me one, and I want to screenshot it so she knows. And you know what's even better?
That's so nice. Thank you.
You know what? Do this, guys. The ones are cool, and Natalie, I can send you a picture of a bunch of ones, and who gives a shit. What I'd like you guys to do is comment on this post.
Oh my God, that would really, that would make my day, darling. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, I'm just posting this in Serp Tech. Okay.
Oh man, you're the best. Thank you so much. And you and Todd and Marco in support, you guys absolutely rock. And you put up with my numpty questions all the time. And you just have ultimate patience. And thank you so much.
And Jason and Steven.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. And Jason and Steven, I was like. And everybody else, oh my God.
There are a lot. I think everyone, thinks that I'm a lot more on the face. I do all the webinars and shit like that, so people kind of come to me more. But there is definitely a team here, and everyone, like Jason, Steven, Todd, we're the kind of four guys behind this. But even the guys in the background, doing support and shit, we need that whole infrastructure to be able to do this stuff. So there Jeremiah's on the webby. That's so cool that your guys are gonna have that. So post lots of pictures for us all, guys. Everyone, come on. You're already doing it. This thread's already blowing up. Just say thanks to Natalie, and maybe we'll talk to Natalie about coming on more often and maybe doing some sales training and shit like that, because it sounds like that's her strength. And you guys would probably love that.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really pleased to be able to participate.
We're pleased to have you, Natalie, of course.
Cheery, bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. All right. Where are we at? 3:30. You know what, guys? I really want to end. I could go over more questions and stuff like that, but I really don't want to get off this high that we're on right now, having Natalie come on and tell us that story and how much her life has changed in the last 6 months, from her business going from failing to now she's renting a private house and inviting Jeremiah from US. Jeremiah's another superstar in Serp Tech. And I just want to leave everyone, I have a great feeling right now about what happened. I hope you guys do too. And I want to leave the webinar on that note, because I just want you guys all going away from this webinar being yeah, man, I can do this shit, because you can do this shit. It's a choice. It's literally a choice. You just have to choose it. Okay, so let me see if Todd's on yet. No, Todd's still dealing with stuff. So Jason, how's your mic? Do you want to add anything? Is your mic still fuzzy? Steven, do you want to add anything?
I kind of missed the part there, so I have to watch the review. I think my doggy had an operation today, so she has to sleep with one of those cones.
Oh, poor pup.
Yeah, she is. She had cataract. That's in English, I think. So she has a new lens.
Oh, cool.
Jason still sounds like he's broadcasting for the North Pole or something.
Yeah, Jason, you got to check out your mic, man. It's just like.
Okay, sorry guys.
Yeah, I'm sure he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. Yeah, let's end it there, guys. Thanks everyone for coming on. Don't forget the webinar tomorrow. I'll post a link for tomorrow's webinar, or I'll email it out to you guys again. We'll go more in depth into PDN shit because I know it's a big topic, and I'll have this replay up tonight. And I see the comments still coming in from
Yeah, I see Lee's comment here. Someone take that suck out of Jason's mouth. That's kind of how it sounds indeed.
Yeah. Okay, guys, awesome. Oh shit, I didn't click the record button. If anybody has a recording of this webinar, because this was like the greatest one, please contact me because I did not record it. I suck.
Without Todd, that never happens. Todd is always the guy that says, "Oh, and don't forget to hit record."
Bruce, you have a copy of the recording? Hit me up on, okay, awesome. Thank you so much, man. Hit me up on Facebook. Just message me and I'll grab your copy and I'll post that. So it'll probably take me a little longer now, guys, to post it since I have to like do things a little odd, but yay, Bruce. Thank you so much. Yeah, just get a hold of me.
Bruce.
Yeah, totally. Smart thinking. Okay, guys, that's it. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.